in the sense that like,
I'm recording this, by the way. Sorry.
okay,
Say who regarded
I
who
forgot to do
regarded me.
that. Go ahead. Keep going,
yeah.
Miguel.
So yeah, I like to do representation art. I like to paint things like in a pretty quote unquote realistic style. I like to pursue that style. And in doing so, like I like to pepper in some elements of I don't know, like folklore or like mythology even, and I don't know what's the word, like dreamlike things. Um, and like some themes that like I also chase aside from that are like well, my Mexican culture. I like to represent that a lot. Um, Innocence, I try and like pepper that into my work, and yeah, that's kind of like my style. If you guys happen to like check out the galleries, or not galleries, the my Instagram, you can kind of get a feel for it. What I'm most excited for right now is actually this event. This is going to be my first art event actually ever. So like I'm really excited to get to meet other like-minded people like yourselves and kind of exhibit my work to the public, see what the reaction is like, as well as I kind of feel like I'm reaching like a new stepping stone, you know, like leveling up my skill set, which is exciting. But that's a little bit about myself.
That's super exciting. And it's cool that you're going into the art walk and that this is all part of your journey upward. That's awesome.
Uh,
All right. Brooke, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm Brooke. I'm self-taught. I moved to Oceanside in like 2020, right before lockdown, and just started doing watercolors. And I don't plan. I'm ADHD. I'm all over the place. But I've developed this weird abstract style. And the thing that I'm super excited about is this 36 by 36 canvas. This is the biggest thing I've done so far. But I'm also doing the sides that are like 2 inches. So it's really like 38 by 38. And I got a 50 millimeter lens and an Eco Tank Epson printer. So I'm like making prints, making my own prints. And I've never done any kind of art event or even sold anything. I did do the teeny tinies for Oceanside Museum and sold two of those. Sold, which was great. But I'll be in the artist alley. Cool.
Awesome. Leroy, would you like to go next?
I am a very young artist. I'm 26 years old, but I have 10 years experience in tattooing. I am a professional painter. I graduated 16 years old. I'm from the Bahamas, so it may confuse you as to how I'm this young. And yeah, I've been doing this from I was 14 years old. Honestly, from I was like one, I've been drawing Dragon Ball Z characters. I have a lot of like contemporary art. I do tattoos also. I do face painting. I've done a lot of art. Like it's no specific art that I do. I can do all of it. I think far as you think it, so be it.
Yeah. And what are you most excited about?
Just being there, just being present. Can't wait to show y'all my special work because I know it's special. I'm different. You gotta think different. You think different, you could be different. I have a lot of new stuff I know you probably never see before. Can't wait to showcase it.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's see. Who would like to go next? Lynn Abate Johnson, what's happening?
Hello, people. Lynn Abate Johnson here. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Dawn.
Love the energy.
Thank you, all of you. I'm so fucking excited. Oh, sorry. Potty mouth. Potty mouth.
Bring it.
I'm so excited about Friday because I get to go around. I always leave my table and I get to go around and visit. And I leave my husband sitting in the chair holding down the fort. So I guess I don't really care about selling that much. I just want to meet everybody that is there and see your artwork. And so you can expect me to be dropping by. I am a two-time international best-selling author. So it's a little different than what everybody else does. And I also make jewelry out of these Paua, the shells from New Zealand that I brought back. So if you see this, just I don't have very much jewelry left, and I need to make more. And I'm out there sharing, for the love of it. And I'm really inspired by all of you and all of the different types of ideas that you bring and the creativity. So, yeah, I'm most excited about Friday, and I'm trying to stay in the present moment because I got stuff to do before Friday. And Dawn and I and my husband Corey, we're going to be out on the streets on Thursday giving out flyers and posters. If anybody wants them to give out between Friday and the next art walk, you can let us know. You can pick up extra flyers and posters at the information table. So, yeah, connect with me on all of the socials. I'm a social animal, and yeah, very grateful.
Awesome. Let's see. Maribel, would you like to go next?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Maribel Baltadano. Uh, let's see. I've participated in the art walk several times in last year, and then I stopped, and I'm kind of getting back into the groove. I'm excited to join this art circle. I think it's so needed, and so thank you for having this. The kind of art that I do is I'm a former well, I guess I still am early childhood educator, so a preschool teacher. And I learned so much from the kids being in that space that now I apply a lot of the principles that I learned doing art with them into my own art. So basically, I do a lot of intuitive and meditative art. Um, and I really focus more on like process art. So I think Brooke mentioned that he's very ADHD and he's all over the place. I too never plan a painting. I just doodle and scribble and leave it for a few days, and then I come back and I add things to it. So that is just so fun for me. And I can basically do any kind of art. I can draw anything, but I don't enjoy it as much as like this process that I've learned from my preschoolers. So I love doing that. I will be there this Friday. I create handmade or hand painted greeting cards and bookmarkers. Um, I participated in several Oceanside like local small events, like at Oside Bakery. Sometimes they have they always actually have an art gallery within their restaurant. So every few months they change the theme, and different people host the art show. So I've done that. And a couple of other like community events as well. So I'm just really excited. I've been a vendor for about 5 years, and it's been like up and down all over the place, just learning so much and mostly learning about like me, what I want to provide as far as my art and what um, I'm not focused like Lynn said, on sales. I'm mostly, I think, more interested and thrive on like connections and just meeting people and then creating together, creating a community and just creating space for art. So that's what I'm just excited about, to just learn more and be a part of this group and others and just keep growing.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Um, awesome. And then I feel like a total jerk, but remind me your name one more time. iPhone.
Me? I don't know if that's me.
Wait, she's got
I had to get off of mute. Sorry. I'm Cynthia. Cynthia
Cynthia. There you go.
Blue.
Sorry about that. Okay,
Oh, that's
Cynthia,
okay. I know.
It's
I was
your
like
turn.
trying to figure out how to put my name on here. I am a sewist and upcycler. So I take thrifted and secondhand clothing and textiles and recreate it to be wearable, new, unique clothing, purses, jackets, totes, pillows, whatever I feel like doing. I am so excited about this Friday because it'll be much cooler than here in Temecula Valley. I mean, been pretty nice here, but just the temperature drop once you hit the beach is like, oh, this is so lovely. And just the vibe there at the art walk, just the music, the people, it's just such a wonderful experience and community. And I think one of the things I want to try is bring my sewing machine and my heat press and see if people are open to picking their graphic and jacket or shirt, and I could make it there on the spot for them. I don't think I have to test it and see if that'll work.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'll take one. That sounds cool. Yeah. All right, nice. Well, my name is Taylor Gallegos. I am a muralist, painter, fine art canvas painter as well. I'm most excited. I just painted live at a music festival here in Vermont, and I did a mural over a couple of days. I did two murals over a couple of days, and the organizers of the event are very excited about the whole thing. And I've got this whole concept of it's called a mural mash, and it's like multiple muralists painting throughout a festival over a couple of days, and then those paintings go on sale and they go on t-shirts and then you can sell prints and it can be a whole thing. So
Tag
and
me in.
they're pumped. Yeah, all right, nice.
Tag me in. I'm in
All
the
right.
collaboration and all. Bro, I got all type of young ideas, new ideas. My brain don't stop.
Perfect. That's what we need.
I'm picking up the
Uh,
needle, the brush, the pencil. Let's go.
all right. Yeah, so yeah, pumped. All right, well, let's dive right in here. So I'm going to introduce our featured speaker of the night here. I'm going to read from my phone here. So, Mr. Jared Lazar is a Southern California-based artist known for his vibrant underwater seascapes rendered in a distinctive blend of illustrative pop art. Drawing inspiration from the rhythm and color of the ocean, Jared transforms marine life into energetic, imaginative compositions filled with bold lines, playful details, and dynamic color palettes. His work reflects a deep connection to the sea and a desire to capture its wonder through a contemporary and joyful lens. Jared's artwork has been showcased in a number of respected galleries across Southern California, including Art on 30th, La Bodega, Shockbox, Ace Studios, North County Art Gallery, and Covet. His eye-catching style and creative versatility have also led to collaborations with national and local brands such as Bloomingdale's, Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer, Everyday California, Jägermeister, and Sandcloud Beach Towels. And today he's going to speak to us about going full time as an artist. So, without further ado, Jared.
What's going on, everybody? Taylor, thank you so much for asking me to do this, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. Couldn't have said it better myself. Um, Everyone, thank you for joining. If you haven't already, check out last month's YouTube. Kathleen was the speaker, and she did a fantastic job of like hints and tips of showing your work and like getting the public engaged. I picked up quite a few. I was taking notes along the way. It was great. So if you haven't checked it out, they have a YouTube channel. They have past talks. It's definitely worth a listen. About myself, I am a former creative director and designer. 10 years ago, I built a company called Team Fun with two of my friends. It was a merchandising and promotional products company where I was the creative director, and I managed all the graphic designers. Um, it was a lot of fun. We built it out to this crazy thing that was bigger than the three of us, and acquired a couple companies in the process. While I was doing that, nights and weekends, I was doing street fairs, I was doing murals, I was doing commission pieces, and I had built the graphic team out to where it was self-sufficient. I did everything that I cared to do with it. And it was started doing street fairs on the weekends and things like that were starting to get in the way of me being present at the business. And I was like, guys, I've done everything I want to here. And I'd much rather do art. So I transitioned after doing street fairs and stuff like that on the weekends with a full-time job for 13 years, and learned from other artists. I am not the sharpest crayon in the box when it comes to doing all this, but listen to people that I'm like, oh my gosh, they've got a great setup, or oh, they're doing this that's engaging well with the public. Taking just notes and notes of people that have maybe been doing it longer or have had great ideas, and learning from them, and pulling those things and continue to use what works for me. Um, we have so when you are, if you are interested in, doing art full time, if not, that's great. Just make art for the sake of making art is always so rad when humans are creating. This is not you should be doing art professionally. These are, maybe you're interested, and I'd love to give you any tips that I've learned along the way. Something that's really helped me out of the box is recognizing a style that's unique to me and being able to speak to it. Um, as artists, we already have that. It doesn't seem unique to us because we're the ones hanging out by ourselves, creating it all the time. But if you are already creating, you already have something that's unique to you. You already have a unique creative voice, just like everyone's natural voice sounded different. Let that style grow over time, embrace it, and be able to speak to it. Speak confidently about your work. Everyone already on this call did a great job of being able to give a quick elevator pitch of this is what I do. This is what I enjoy. This is the style. So you guys are already ahead of a lot of people on that. So well done. In doing so, when trying to sell your art, I have found that it's very rare for someone to just go up to my booth and say, that's great, I'll buy it. But people love buying a good story. People love to know the back end. I have become very practiced at anytime someone's interested in a piece that I have up in my booth, telling them where I was at in my life when I was doing it, telling them what I was going through, telling them, little things that I was excited about in the piece. That helps me speak authentically and not sound like a pitch. People don't get a very salesy vibe other than, anytime someone's just kind of looking at my booth and not coming in, I'm like, hey, come on in. I'm the first one to like stand at the front and greet them, because it's surprising. A lot of people I have found, and I know Taylor said this last month, are almost kind of afraid to engage in art. So many times I've heard people say, Well, I don't know. I'm not an artist. I don't have you have an opinion. You know what you like. You know chose the clothes that you're wearing because you have that opinion. You've already, dressed yourself. That's a small form of creative thought. Um yeah, those stories and just being human and not sitting there like a used car salesman, I've found have those stories have helped connect and convert to sales. So it's storytelling anytime you can. Please share that. The not so fun part of becoming a professional artist is before I left Team Fun to just focus on art, I grabbed coffee with artists that had been doing it full time, asking them what works for them, how they do it, because it's not an easy road. It's a creatively fulfilling road, but it's not an easy road, and it's not a straight line either. It's not a constant, trajectory up and forward, just like anything. There's going to be roadblocks, and that's fine. You just have to be able to persevere and continue to create. Some of the points that I received were having 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved before taking the leap, because you may not be making enough when you make that jump. Um, Build a small and steady art income. So I had been doing street fairs and murals and commission projects 13 years before I made the jump. And then when you kind of feel you have all that built, set a clear transition timeline. For me, it was this time last year when I told my business partners, "You guys, I'll help you find someone that can replace me." I gave them 6 months. I was like, "I want you guys to persevere, but at the end of 2024, I'm just going to focus on art because it's become something that unfortunately kind of became a point of argument with my business partners, because I was like, "Hey guys, I'm going to be doing this art festival. I'm going to be out the next 4 days." And they're like, "Well, we've got this, this, and this." I'm like, "I have these people in place to handle that." "Well, what if something goes wrong?" "Fellas, if it's a fire, flood, or death, call me, but I'm going to do this." Um, so, um, so with that, setting that clear transition timeline before you take that leap, um, get a website and shop set up. I do, thankfully, do sell at a lot of street fairs, but I have a lot of online sales, and have a good looking and easy to navigate professional website. um, Develop a clear visual brand. It's hard as creatives, especially for those that, some of us want to do some painting and some drawing and some, uh, stencil work or whatever it might be. I have found for me a lot focusing on a lot of my work that has highly saturated colors, so it all kind of speaks the same story in that booth, has helped me. I did a lot of pen and ink drawings and pointillism, but having those with the vibrant paintings, it didn't quite make sense. I had a lot of people, is a surprising amount, going, "So who's the other artist that did this?" I'm like, "Oh, I did." They're like, "Oh, okay." It's it kind of derailed the conversation of telling a story and focusing on, "Hey, uh, what are you looking for? We were talking about this. Now we're going on to this." And yeah. Um, And then showing up consistently online. I built a large Instagram presence when it was much easier. Gosh, in 20 like 13 to 2018. I'm still highly functional with it. Trying to learn TikTok. If anybody has any tips, please let me know. I'd love to learn from you. But we are in the digital age, and it is a necessary evil to show up online. Something that I have found is taking the time to set up video and doing like time lapses and behind the scenes shots of my work has excited people other than just posting up and being like, "Hey, here's a new painting." They're like, "Cool, great." People love any sort of backstory you can give, and I can't stress that enough. Um, Bullet points to this, visibility online, and for me doing street fairs. Y'all are already doing it. You guys are going to be out there Friday. I'm excited to meet all you. Visibility creates trust in sales. Share your process, not just polished work. Share, share, share. You don't have to share your whole life. If there's things you don't want to share, leave it out. But speaking at all to any part of it, like, oh, I'm really excited about the wave I painted on this woman's face. I was painting this and I thought it was a good piece, but I wanted to make it more exciting. I've spent my life surfing and I wanted to uh, put that piece of my life into this piece of art. Um, Track your inventory, expenses, and revenue. It's super not fun. But when I do a show, I will just take notes when I'm not engaging with people of everything that has been sold. I'm a bit of an analytics nerd, so I will email it to myself and put it into just copy and paste that into a spreadsheet so that I can just scroll all and see how much I made. And then how much did I make there versus how much did I spend on the booth? Treating your art like treat your art like a real business because it is. Know how much booth costs are, what you earned, and whether or not it's worth it. I've had a lot of professional artists that just do show circuits tell me that they will do a show, especially annual ones that cost a bit more, 2 years in a row to really get a feel for it, and see whether it makes sense for them to continue to take the time to do it. Track what sales. So if you do want to have a lot of different mediums and have a lot of different styles, um, take note of, what sells more or what brings people in more. And hopefully that's something that you enjoy doing and, make a series out of it. Have like, I like to do a piece for me and a piece for them. So when I'm painting, I will do especially if I'm doing quite a few commission pieces, I'm always excited that people trust me and will pay me to, paint whatever it might be. When I do quite a few of them in a row, I get a little burnt out creatively. So I always have something maybe half done on the side that I'm excited about doing, and we'll mix that in so that I don't suffer burnout from that. Um, Aside from that, with the business side of it, I only recently this year started collecting emails from interested visitors. I have an email book out. It's very rare for people to look at my table of merch I have and see the email book and be like, oh, okay, here's my info. But anytime, even if someone doesn't buy something, if I have a great conversation with them, I invite them to put their info in, and I do like a monthly email. And I remind them, hey, I'm not going to spam you. I'll do an email once a month if I'm lucky. Sometimes I'm not always the best at it, but it's not going to be more than once a month, and it's just going to tell you, hey, I'm going to be out doing these shows. I just finished this piece that I'm really excited about. Invite people to follow your journey. I have a printout of my bio that Taylor was so kind to recite earlier, with an Instagram QR code so that people can easily just snap it and follow me on Instagram. And then after that, follow up after the show. I will, if people are interested in possibly doing a commission piece, I'll invite them to write down their email, and then I'll just shoot them a quick email saying, hey, would love to do, XYZ, whatever we talked about, for you. I always try and start with if they have a budget or a size in mind, because that kind of funnels the conversation from going, it stops it from going nowhere. It stops it from, kind of yes-anding into oblivion. Aside from that, network with other artists. I'm not the best when it comes to street fairs if I'm by myself. I'll usually try and say hi to the people around me, because at the end of the day, I am there to try and sell my art. I'm doing this full time. My fiance is pretty sweet. She'll come when when she doesn't have work. And when she does, I'll try and go and talk to as many artists around as possible. But I'll at least talk to the booths next to me and in front of me. I'll at least try and talk to 3 to 5 artists I've never met. I'll try and follow them on Instagram and engage with them on social media. And you'll be surprised at where that leads to more opportunities. And remember, with all of this, it is collaboration over competition. It's really easy to see other people's social media and see perceived success. And I can't remember what it is. It's competition is the killer of. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. But it's very demotivating. I try and think of everything as collaboration. We're all out here. We, as a group, are bringing all these people out. If I was set up at Oceanside by myself, it wouldn't be nearly as fantastic or fun without all of you also there. It creates such an amazing presence and such an exciting presence for the public. I'm always taking notes about what worked and what didn't work. Showing up consistently for commission projects, shows. Southern California, while there's millions of people, is a small town when it comes to artists. Especially when trying to do shows. I won't agree to anything that I can't 100% do, because unfortunately people will remember that, and some people that you may have flaked on may later run events that you want to be a part of. I found saying yes to everything didn't work for me. There's sometimes that people are like, hey, I love your art. I want you to paint a photorealistic image of my child. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. That's not what I do. But I know these artists over here, this is their Instagram. They're wonderful people. They're very good at that. I can connect you if that's something you'd like. And then things that also didn't work for me was trying to do it all alone. Like I said, I can be hard-headed and not the sharpest when it comes to seeing things right in front of me, but I am good at just hitting up people that have been doing it longer than me and saying, hey, you want to meet up for a coffee? I'd love to pick your brain. Or can I buy you some tacos for your time? Whatever it might be. And then just taking all those notes, trying it out for myself, and moving forward with what worked for me. Key takeaways from all this. Your unique style and your story are your strengths. Know it, love it, live it, preach it. Discipline will make it all sustainable. focus on what works. And then lastly, relationships build opportunity. Meet other artists. You guys are already on this call, so you guys are already a step ahead. Once again, thank you for being here. I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes. Leap and the net will appear by John Burroughs. But that's all I have for y'all. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Well done. Well done. Okay, cool. So now everybody, this is the question and answer section. So yeah, feel free to just popcorn in and just ask any questions you have about anything. I'd say kind of take this part as in the form of like either a question or maybe a reflection. Say like, well, when you said that, it reminded me of this, or like brought this up for me. That sort of a format will work great here. Does anyone have anything that comes to mind right off the bat?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Um, I just started critically thinking towards it. Like, it's an art walk. I do tattoos, but I also paint a wall and a boat and golf carts and faces and jackets. So how about face painting? Is that is that okay? Is that a part of an art walk still? Like presenting my art with the prints and face painting? Because that's tattooing. And I'm from an island, so tribal, like carnival, junkanoo, that's in me.
Yeah, you can. We do have somebody that's going to be doing some face painting too. So yeah, if you want to do face painting, it's kind of up to you, like what you want to, if you're going to charge, what you want to charge.
Yeah, I already have
Um,
that part in order. I'm just making sure
okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, and I start, no one be like, hey, stop.
No, yeah, you can face paint.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesomeness.
We have somebody doing tattoos actually too.
Whoa. If I
Yeah.
knew that, I would have had my stuff
He-
out of the
what
trunk,
do you
right
need
next to me.
do you need electricity and stuff?
No, all my stuff are
You're all
battery operated. Like, and I
yeah.
have everything.
Um, maybe not this time, but yeah, if next month
Okay.
you're interested, maybe we'll. But yeah, she last month was the first month that we had someone doing
Ooh.
tattoos. And I was at first I was, I was like, okay, the legalities of it. What are we responsible for if something happens? But she does festivals and stuff,
Yeah,
so
as
and
long as you have a
she
certifications.
has her own certifications and
Hmm.
license and insurance and all that stuff. So
Yeah, me too. But now if I didn't know that, okay, thank you. I'm here next month also. I'm here.
Jared, that kind of brings up a thought for me. So like, um, a lot of artists have lots of different strengths and skills and pursuits. Um, like I guess how do you feel like how does it play into the journey and like being a full-time artist? Like how does the different, that like you mentioned a little bit like a coherent body of work for like a booth. But then there's also all these different, we're like so many of us are so creative in different ways. What are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, that was just something that I had noticed for myself. Having kind of the same medium and the same, I'll say similar color palettes really helped bring some cohesion. Um, it was more often than not that I was so surprised. When I had like pen and ink drawings, I had some abstract like spray paint stuff that I had done with maybe like some stencils, and then uh, pop art style paintings. And people were like more like I could I could count more than my 10 fingers where people were like, "Oh, well, what artist did this?" I did. "Oh, well, it's so different from them." I'm like, "Yeah, I enjoy doing a lot of stuff." And they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then like it was so weird. It's just something in my experience. I by no means am telling anyone how to, run their craft. It was just something shocking that I had noticed over the years and thought it was worth stating.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been noticing that too. This is my first year ever doing any art walks, and I've kind of been like playing with like what to show and how it works. And yeah, when there are like bolder colors in a couple pieces, and then there's like black and white drawings, or like they're quieter in some ways, like they definitely get overshadowed. So it almost seems like just hitting it, like leading with a strong suit and having it be coherent is a nice way to go. But you can be, I mean, the antithesis of that is like complementing whatever you want with whatever. Like the art booth itself is like a piece of art, really, that you can set up, and you can set up your composition however you want and have what certain colors featured or whatever you feel.
I have a question, Jared. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
It's my
sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if my mic was working. So so essentially, my question is, I guess I'll give like a little like background information, a little more background information about myself. Um, so so I kind of relate to a lot of what you were talking about, in the sense that you said that a lot of people recommend you have like a cushion amount of money before you like leap into this. And I was like in that boat. I was working in hospitality for a very long time before. I've always drawn.
Oh, I think you froze.
Mm. He was just getting to the juicy part.
I know, and you froze. You're frozen.
I don't know if he can hear, but Miguel, if you turn off your video, that might help the signal to come through better. And we'll just be on audio.
Hmm. All right, well, we can come back to him. Um, Lynn, what questions do you have?
Well, a couple of things that inspired me, Jared. I love you. Ever since I met you, I guess it was 2 or 3 art walks ago, but I just love your energy and your spirit and your openness and your heart, your big open heart. So what I picked up is that you were talking about comparison and how we tend to compare ourselves to others when we see them on social media. And I think that though I translated that into comparison kills creativity and joy. It's like comparison is bad, like really bad. Like don't do it. Like resist the temptation to compare yourself to others. So I think that's what you were saying. And also collaboration is the new competition, right? So referring, that's what I love to do as well, is I love to refer others. And I think that's part of my nature, is getting to know people so I can have people to refer to for specific things, because I don't know why, but my whole life people have always come to me to get a recommendation for something else, and maybe related to what I do and maybe not. And so I really appreciate that you brought that to the surface, because that's super important in terms of, like you said at the end, building relationships is really the key. And I think in the world today, that's what we're missing. We're missing, we've gotten maybe disconnected in the past and become more individualistic. And I think that we can help heal ourselves and the world by becoming more and more connected, interconnected, and community based. So thank you.
100%. Yeah, that collaboration over competition, that's something I wrote down on the wall in my past studio years ago, just as a friendly reminder. When I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And gosh, Lynn, you are one of the best people I've ever met at building community. You introduce yourself to everyone every time, and even last time, I think you gave me a flyer for a cafe that I need to check out next time I'm up there.
Miguel, you're back. Would you like to jump back in there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties with my equipment. Hopefully, hopefully I stay on this time. Um, Essentially left off. I'm kind of in this transitional period where like I do feel like I have presentable work. I do feel like pretty good, pretty confident in the work that that I'm creating. So now, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like my technical skills are kind of leveling up, and I'm kind of searching for outlets, leads, and I'm very excited about this because this is my first lead. So kind of branching off of that, I'm so sorry, Jared. Was it Jared? I apologize.
Yep, you've got it.
Okay, sorry. Kind of branching off, like, can you think back to this kind of if it's relatable in any way, can you think back in like what you were doing in this kind of a stage to begin to get traction, to kind of generate any kind of revenue in your art, because that's hard.
100%. Like I said, it's not an easy road to take. And there's something that I always remind myself. I've been doing a ton of shows this summer, and even if I'm not making a ton of money, gosh, I'd love to make a ton of money. Even if it's not going as well as I would like, sales wise. You always have to look at it as a marketing standpoint too. I find anytime I can get my art out, it tends to lead to maybe another showing or maybe putting my art up in a business for sale. And really kind of, having mental notes on that. The more I found, the more I show, the more opportunities present themselves.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's all really like relatable. Thank you for the talk. It's funny too also because like I was looking around for different art walks. This weekend is the Liberty Art Walk down in Liberty Station, which is like another like really cool one. And what I appreciate about this art walk is that it's more affordable. That art walk, I've been to it, and it does gather a lot of people, but the buy-in price is a little bit steeper also. So I'm excited for this Friday.
Yeah, 100%. And the ones that cost quite a bit more, I try to look at it as I love the first Friday Oceanside Art Walk. It is only 5 to 8 though. So I really only have 3 hours to get, to have as many conversations as possible. Where the Mission Fed events, which are the Little Italy, the Liberty Station, and then the Carlsbad one, I think in September. You have a lot of people you can talk to, and you have 2 days to do it. Don't get me wrong, after a 2 day event, I am like, close the curtains. I'm watching TV. I do not want to engage with anyone. I need to recharge my social batteries. But it's at that point, what are the prices versus hours offered versus how many conversations I'm able to have. When you start looking at it like that and amortizing that cost about, how much it costs by the hour, of visibility, it helps a little bit, but you're not wrong. Those are some of the most expensive art walks to um, participate in. I mean, me myself, I'm not doing the Liberty Station one, and I didn't do the Little Lily one. I am doing the one in September, the Carlsbad one. I haven't tried that one yet, and I want to see how it works. But yeah, you'll find that there are a lot of opportunities, especially in summer in Southern California. Just chat it up with your other, with people next to you in the booth, other artists, follow them. If you see that they're doing an event, shoot them a DM, say, hey, congratulations, I'm stoked for you. If you wouldn't mind, how did you hear about this? I do that often and have had, that's helped generate kind of a lot of leads for being able to put my art out there.
And Dawn does a really great job of, I don't know how you do it, Dawn, but she finds every event that you could possibly want to investigate and maybe apply for, like constantly on the Instagram for Oceanside Art Walk.
In
Dawn
the
is finding,
stories.
huh?
In our store, yeah, I put them in our stories.
Your
If I
store in the
calls
stories.
calls
Yeah,
for art.
it calls for artists, and I found other events through that. And then like Jared was just saying, I have friends that I've met through this art walk that refer me to other ones, and also even job opportunities that might have nothing to do with art, but have to do with what I do, uh, like every day. So, um, what did I want to say about, I can't remember now. I lost my thought, but, um, it'll come back to me.
Hopefully Miguel can come back on. He
We
seems like
lost them
his
again.
internet's not doing great. Oh, wait for it. He just jumped back in. Um, yeah, I was thinking something to like speak into his question. And maybe he can hear me, maybe not. Um, I feel like at the beginning, especially, well, kind of any point in your career, but especially early on, um, I feel like the more you can just show what you're doing to the outside world, show what you're doing, show your process, talk about it, show time lapses of it. One thing that's a major key, is getting a tripod and either a phone that can do a time lapse or download an app or whatever you got to do, but do time lapses of your work and show it because it's like it's just so exciting for people to watch the process and then they get excited and then in your posts and in your newsletters and emails and anytime you talk to anybody you can just be like, yeah, this is what I do. I can do this for you. Or I can like, it gets people excited, it gets them committed and like connected to you as an artist, your process, your work, your final product, everything about it.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't seen it, Taylor does a great job of like, hey guys, I'm out here
Yeah.
with this awesome mural. Dude, I've seen your stories. You are much better than I am at it.
Yeah, he's killing it. That's what I wanted to say. Taylor, didn't you have an example of for Miguel about sticking with it and not ever knowing like if you're making an impact, but then a year or two later somebody comes back to you and commissions you to do, didn't you have a story like that? And before you answer, I want to remind everybody that there is that YouTube channel, and maybe, I don't know, Dawn, if you have the link handy to the channel, but if you go back and watch from the beginning, Taylor was our first guest speaker, and it was also very encouraging to those who are in it, like in that grind, like you feel like, where am I? And who even cares? And so he gave some really encouraging stories about that, people coming back that you had planted a seed with maybe or gotten them on your email list for years and then they came back, right, Taylor?
Yeah, totally. Um, yeah, the oh, here goes Miguel. Maybe we got him. Um, yeah, my talk that I gave was on finding your why and then making art from there and speaking to people from there. Um, what's up, Miguel? We got you back.
Yay.
All right. Um, yeah,
We'll
and
probably disappear again. So
no worries.
sorry.
Well, we're recording the whole thing, so if you need to go back and go through, there's one thing that I was wanting to say to you is that early on in your career, when you're building everything like you're building your network and you're building your skill set and your abilities. And by one thing that I feel like works really well is to photograph, time lapse do videos of your work in progress and share it. Share it to everybody that you know. And you're building your network. You're building your following, the people that are interested in your work. You know, like plant your flag in your original creativity, who you are as an artist and who you like what exploration you're on and you know, put your flag as high as you can because other people that are interested in the same thing are going to be gravitating towards you. And then if you show the process, if you do time lapses of your art, if you take videos, if you talk about it when you're mid painting, you're like, "Oh, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm thinking about." Especially like challenges that you run into, you know, share your struggles. Everyone knows how hard it is to do art, to make art, to be an artist. Share all that. And like it's all like it's all building towards like you growing like this like world, this little artistic world around you that people are a part of. You're welcoming them into it. And and yeah, like your email list is super valuable. Uh Social media is like rented space, but your email list you own. So, like they can change the algorithms, and then when you make a post, only like 6% of people that you know actually get to see it. But you send an email, and that goes to every single person on your email list. And yeah, I've been building my email list for like 20 something years now. And this one time I did a painting of a dolphin and then I sent an email about it. And this guy who was at an art show of mine like 15 years before that, who'd been following me this whole time, saw the post and then bought the painting from that email. And I had never heard of him again. Like, and he was some random dude that like walked into the coffee shop where I was hanging artwork. And then I got his email address and then he stayed interested and like I don't even know who he is, like I couldn't tell you, and he probably reads my emails still. But yeah, just do it, just go for it, put it out there, like you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, the trials, the tribulations, the successes, like share it with the world because like that's gonna get them more connected to you. And it's gonna get them to tell their friends about it. They're gonna be like, dude, this guy's like making these awesome paintings of these hands and doing these interesting things. And I'm like, it's moving or interesting or exciting or whatever. Like, you know, people pass on remarkable stuff.
For sure, man.
And
Thank you.
it's the same thing with social media. You know, people say, "Oh, I lost followers or I whatever, only had this many followers." Don't get hung up on that. Don't get hung up on those numbers and also comments and likes and all that crap. That's just all vanity stuff. You don't need to focus on that. Focus on you and what you're passionate about because just like on the email list, social media also has those lurkers, right? Those lurkers, we love lurkers because they might be shy. They might not even interact with you on social media. And then you'll be surprised later on if you stick with it and you're consistent, just like with your email list, which you own, as Taylor said. Super important to make that distinction. But people will lurk, and then all of a sudden they'll surface and they'll connect with you about something that all of a sudden it just clicked. So, don't give up. Just be consistent and do you. You do you, and your people will be attracted to you. It's an energy thing more than anything else. It's energetic. So don't try and control it or manipulate it. You just show up being you.
Jared,
Can I
I'm.
just
Oh, go
share a
ahead.
little something? I think we have to also just enjoy our own little journey. Like all these tips are wonderful and they can work for you or not. But it's very encouraging to have an art circle like this, just to talk to everybody. And we are all kind of going through the same things, the same struggles. But it's so hopeful and helpful to just hear from everybody. And something that I've personally learned is just to enjoy my journey. And I've learned that when I start getting like stressed or just scared that, gosh, I haven't made any sales this month, like I'm just not even gonna think about that. I'm gonna try really hard not to let it discourage me and kind of just let like go with the flow and just let uh the journey take you on instead of you trying to fight your journey, like just letting the journey take you. Um, and I know sometimes it gets really hard, but you just have to find like what works for you. I have an 8-year-old daughter. We're new owners, and so I have to have another part-time job. My husband works 2 jobs. So it's really hard, but I feel like there's this movement right now, and the art world is growing and it's being embraced, and we're all a part of that. Um, and it's just, something that we are going to give to the world, that we're leaving this legacy art. What are we leaving, what are we leaving for our children and future generations? And I don't mean to get all like deep and philosophical, but that's really what I've like struggle with every day, is just getting hung up on those tough moments and just making sales. And I'm just really trying to, let's go, let's do what you can. Like Jared said, it's really hard to say yes to everything. You don't have to say yes to everything. You have to learn what works for you and do what works for you. And I feel like that way you can find a better flow into your art and work and life.
I agree. I agree with you. I think it's really interesting that you say that you feel this like kind of, what did you call it? Like a growth in the art world,
Yeah.
which is really, I feel that way also because kind of like branching off on a tangent. But kind of across the board in general, I think that things have become very like saturated and like almost even numbing, from like
Mhm.
saturated food to like, I don't know, video games, movies, series, like AI slop. And it's just like so draining and
Yeah.
so exhausting. And there's this
Mhm.
desperation for originality and
Yeah.
like a fresh take of humanism,
Yeah.
because, you know, because like we all connect through these little windows that allow me
Mhm.
to see you and you are able to see me. Um,
Mhm.
but you're human, but I don't know, in my brain, it's almost like there's a remove, right? And
Yeah.
I would love to meet you in person on Friday. Um, but it kind of like is that, it's there's like a thirst for human connection and originality, and not just like
Mhm.
saturated like nonsense, like kind of a palatable, like flavorless thing that is edible, but it's flavorless. People want flavor because people are passionate.
I think a key word that you use there is like for me is numbing, because I have a master's degree in social work, and I've been working with kids for almost 30 years, but it just got to the point where it's draining. I've tried to have a full time, like 9 to 5 this past year, and it just physically made me sick. Made me sick. I became numb. And the way I described it to my husband was it was, I felt like my soul was being sucked out because I was on the computer and desk all day and then office drama. And so I just from one day to another said, nope, I'm not doing this. I don't know how I'm going to work it out. I don't know how I'm going to tell my husband, but I need to do this. I need to do art. I need to be in a creative environment. So, yeah, it's been tough, but it's helpful having supportive people around me. And yeah, but
Good
yeah, I
strategy.
will be there. I will be there Friday. Come around. I know it's hard to leave our booth. I met Lynn last time. That was great. So, yeah, let's meet up. Maybe after the art walk, after we're set up, we should all just meet somewhere. I don't know, Dawn, if there's going to be like a concert this time, but
Yes.
last time was awesome. We had, what was it? Soul Remedy.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah,
out there
my
dancing.
buddy is in that band.
Oh yeah,
My friend is in that
yeah,
band.
they
Mhm.
were cool. We were out there dancing and it was a good
His name
time.
is Paco.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
that was
awesome.
Yeah, that's that's what I'm most excited for. Like like several of you mentioned earlier, like you're not even there for the sales. It'd be awesome to get some sales. This is my first art event, but honestly, like I'm not really too concerned about that either. I'm just like really excited to see like how people face to face like interact or
Mhm.
react to like what it is that we all have to offer, and it's cool to have that fresh
Mhm.
take.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I look forward to seeing all of you there.
same
I
Yeah.
here.
have nothing else to do. I will be right there. That's all I do. Like I surrounded my life around tattoos after I realized paintings wasn't selling in the Bahamas, and a lot of, like I say, COVID really started all of this for all of us. And for
Crazy.
us to hate to say it, coronavirus was the answer for artists to wake up. Like we was asleep, and
Yeah.
I think they thought they was going to put the rest of the world to sleep, but they really woke us up.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
stepped out of my bubble the minute the world shut down, and that's the best it ever been for me since. Like I could actually say I'm a professional artist since then. So I
Hmm.
just do art to survive, to pay my rent, to eat. Like it's different. Like being from where I'm from, what I had to go through to get here today, right now.
Well,
Hmm.
glad you're here.
Thank you. We're
Tell
gonna.
your story. Tell your story. That's what,
Mm.
you know,
My
people
story.
were,
It's so much. It can't go. It's more than an hour.
no, no, I mean, when you're talking to the people at the art walk, it's like give people, leave a little piece of yourself with each person that you're looking in their eyes, whether they buy from you or not. And I don't want it to sound like I'm not there to make money. I'm there to make relationships, and I'm there also to push people toward you all so that you can sell some shit, like
Yeah,
sell
like
your stuff. Like
I
I
was
want you to
stuck.
make money.
I was stuck on a. I was stuck on an island for 3 months. But it's me and my partner who I taught how to tattoo. So we basically was stuck there for 3 months. We had to pay a rental on the car for 3 months. We was hopping B&Bs for 3 months. Our only job was tattooing in the Bahamas. We have 300,000 people, and that's separated. We don't even have 1 million people. So
Mm.
for me to make it out of that, like I know I could make it out of anything. I know I could. I know I could push my work here if I could push it there. Survival, like it turned into survival. It more so went from a passion to I still passionate about everything I do. It's a conversation. It turned into survival. Like if I don't do this, I don't know what's going to happen to me.
That's intense, man. That sounds gnarly.
It's a
But
lot. Like we could all meet up and I could
yeah,
share my story with y'all a little bit easier because we have like minds. But I don't I don't want nobody to view me any kind of way. But yeah, it is intense. It is a lot.
yeah. But it's also like hella admirable because if you're in a position to be, like you said, feeding yourself, paying rent, and like sustaining yourself off of this, I mean that's like that's the goal, right? I mean that's my goal. So like seeing somebody like you who is doing it, that's like super admirable
Yeah, I never had
because
a job.
because because you're there and like I'm here. I'm like, oh damn, I want to be there with that guy.
I will hold your hand and swing hands with you up the street along the way. I will show you exactly how to do it. This game is to be told, not sold. I learned that also.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Got you. When I see you, we're gonna talk.
Here's a question for Jared and for everybody. What are your thoughts on like belief
Yeah.
in oneself being able to make it or not, and how that affects being an artist, a full-time artist?
I'm a huge believer in mindset. I mean, you guys that know me know that if you say you're not going to make it, then you're
Yeah.
not gonna make
Mm-hmm.
it. Um,
Far as you think it, so be it.
Leroy's attitude is the attitude we should all have, you know.
Far as you think it, so be
Yeah,
it.
it is. It definitely is true. I'm so anti the starving artist mindset. I've actually, I think, offended people before when they, we all joked about it. I used to joke about it. I don't anymore. You joke, oh, I'm a starving. What do you do? I'm a starving artist. Well, if you say you're starving, you will be starving.
You are what you
So I
say.
definitely believe mindset is very important and how you talk to yourself. Even if you're joking, like I feel like the universe doesn't know the difference between sarcasm and honesty. It doesn't know you're joking.
Could I say something?
Of course.
Like, I'm gonna share cultures with y'all. Because you saying that is like people also jokingly, sarcastically talk bad about you. And they feed that energy out also. Like they plant those seeds into your head,
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
your thoughts,
I mean,
into
I
your
went to art
actions.
school. I went to art school and I definitely all of my professors at the time were like, you cannot make a living full time as an artist. You have to do something else. You have to teach, you have to, and they're doing it to try and help. They think they're helping you, but they're
Mhm.
not. And it took a really long time to kind of you have to get that out of your brain. So I don't listen to it anymore. You know what I mean? Like and for me, abundance and money can come from anywhere. It doesn't always have to come from your art. You know what I mean? It's not my
Mhm.
job to figure out where it's coming from. It's my job to walk in it and live in it and accept it from wherever it comes.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it depends how you yourself define making it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody's
How
definition
you
is
define it.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maribel, that's a great point. And, at the end of the day, everyone, it's your craft.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun with it and do what you want to do with it. I'm such a big mantra person, and I wrote down Taylor saying earlier, figure out your creative flag, put it in the ground confidently, and wave it as high as you can.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe we can take this opportunity to introduce Rosalinda.
You got
And
those.
Rose, okay, Rose, so we all introduced ourselves and we said what our name is, what kind of art we do, and then what thing that we're most excited about creatively right now.
Okay, so my name is Rose. Um, my it took me 2 years to figure out that making soaps and candles is an art. Um, and because I self-taught myself everything during the pandemic. While pandemic was going away,
Mhm.
I was doing the opposite. Now I do have the advantage of I'm sending an introduction letter to PetSmart, Petco, because I first started it. Okay, inside, and I don't tell everybody this outside. I give them I change up the story a little bit, but technically, my wife and I, we were trying to find out something to do with each other. We were freshly married. We're still learning each other. So, and I'm a big Amazon person, so she decided, I said, okay, they got some soaps, they got some, how do you call it, candles and stuff. So we ordered both of them. Come to find out, after one soap and two candles, she quit. Me, on the other hand, I'm very inquisitive. I was born with handcraft. Literally, I was born with handcraft in my bones, because there's nothing I don't try, I don't succeed at when it comes to crafting. But I love to do it because it takes me out of, if I'm having a bad day or whatever, I just come in here, either I'll create a soap, or I'll create a candle, but I don't care too much for candles because there's no competition in there. But soap from scratch it's very unique. And if you don't do it right, you can harm yourself or others. Lord knows we have stories on that one. Um, then I decided so the candles that I make they look like edibles. And then I started learning that tapered candles, people don't care too much for them, but they look pretty. And the same with the soaps. I make cupcake soaps. I make the soaps designed any way you want. But I've been, holding back a little bit because I also started making pet shampoo bars. Those are soap bars for dogs, which is no different from regular soap. It just has this extra kick of an oil that makes it very good. It helps with the fleas and the ticks. And in addition to that, it makes their skin soft. Just for instance, a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, one of my puppies has dry skin, and we were taking her to the doctor literally. So just do the calculations. $150 per month, and she has not gone for a year and a half. And she just had to go recently because it was just beyond what I can do for her. So you know how much money I saved making my own product after so much research. But I think the fact that people come back, I get my same return customers, is what still gets me there. I almost gave up in the beginning because somebody told me, oh, well, we already have somebody sell soaps. And me being naive at the time, I was walking away crying, almost crying. And I was like, but don't they sell more than one bar of soaps? But then afterwards, I was asking, there got to be a way to this. Well, somebody gave me my break. And I noticed I do very, very good in big events versus like little markets and stuff. But when I become friends and I grow into that family, I don't care if I don't unpack. I'm hanging with my friends, I'm hanging with the people I know, we're having fun. And to me, I feel in my heart that if you don't have fun in what you're doing and where you're at, the rest of the evening or day is set to be bland, because people get vibes from one another. There's always a story behind what anybody does, whether you paint, whether you finger paint, whether you create, we're all making something, and there's always a story behind it. So that story is what you show to others. And if you show them that you're proud of what you do, I feel like the energy comes out, and it shows others, and it gravitates them to you. So that's the end.
That's great. Well, welcome to
Yeah.
the whole circle. I'm curious if Cynthia or Brooke have any thoughts or ideas that are bubbling up from this whole conversation, or what this resonates for you guys.
I was going to ask Jared about him mentioning well, first of all, thank you for sharing your life story about the transition
Thank
going
you.
from your life as, what was it called? Team Fun? What was your first business?
Yeah, it was Team Fun. Fun intentionally misspelled with PHUN.
Oh, how cool. Okay. And then you went into business for yourself, as both ways, I guess, and then becoming a full-time artist. That's so awesome. When you mentioned the person that said, I want you to make a baby portrait that looks, paint, and then how did you tell the person you didn't do that type of art?
With full diplomacy. It's one of those things. It was just giving an example of reminding myself not to say yes to everything that comes across my plate. And I'm really big on finding alignment when doing commission work. Um, with expectation alignment of expectations. How long is it going to take, and what's the final product going to be? They
Okay.
they wanted a like photorealistic of a portrait, and I'm like, my style is much more illustrative, and for lack of better words, sometimes cartoony. And it's something that I knew I would really struggle doing. Um, and so I told them, hey, I can do it in this style, and gave them, a couple examples of my work, and they were already familiar with my work. They met me at a booth.
Okay.
Just, we vibed, thankfully. But I was like, hey, it will come out looking more like X, Y, and Z. And they're like, oh, I really want it to look like this photograph. We took this photograph during this family trip, and we love it. I'm like, I understand that loud and clear. I'm sorry, I'm not your guy. I do
Okay.
have some artists that I know that are really good at that and really enjoy doing that. And I want to make sure that you get something that you're asking for.
Okay. Okay. I like that. You said,
Yeah, don't
I'm
get me
sorry,
wrong.
I'm not your guy.
Don't get me wrong. Normally I like bend over backwards, if someone wants to commission me, like that's one of the
Yeah.
highest honors. But if it's not something that I feel I'm going to do like an amazing job and like knock it out of the park and be able to like, if it's not something that I'm going to be proud to have in my portfolio, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. That's cool. That's cool. I I was thinking of what everybody's saying, and one of the things is like preparation for your day out at especially if we're alone. This time my husband has been coming with me, but this time I'll be by myself. So I always am ready, to make sure I have my food, my water, since I can't just be walking around going to the go get food or something. Um, but I was right next to the first musicians that came out from Brazil, and they were playing these really cool instruments, and I just was watching a couple of guys like stretching out, and I was like, wow, I never thought you'd have to stretch out to play that instrument. Maybe you do, because it was really tall and stuff. And then they began like play fighting. I don't
They were
know.
doing capoeira.
Oh my gosh, it was just so cool. And I go, okay, now I see why he was stretching. But it was like, okay, preparation. He was preparing for the rest of his evening. But it just made me think, like, yeah, preparation is key to come out to your booth, especially if you're, planning to be there
by yourself, like I have to be ready, you know, and have my checklist of everything that I'm going to have with me that night. So I have to get busy with my checklist for if I am going to move forward with having people have people pick their own graphic and me put it on a shirt. I really have to prepare my head, my mindset as well to be able to do that.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I am a huge proponent of packing snacks.
Yep.
You know, having a water, having snacks, because otherwise I'll end up making dinner out of Handel's ice cream across the street, um, and then wonder why I feel ill the next day.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do carry. I always carry, even if I don't drink them all, plenty of liquids, plenty of snacks and food, because my wife used to go with me, and I can get her too from time to time, but I mainly go alone, so I already have in my mind what I need.
Mhm.
My checklist is already on my brains, what I need, including a heater or a fan down to the T.
Yep.
Lights, always have lights.
Lights, yeah. You're charged, I use a Jackery that I have to pre-charge and have that ready. So I have to also think about how much juice that will have to get me through the night if I am gonna bring my sewing machine and
Oh, you sew too.
yeah, so that's what I have to think about too. It's gonna take all the juice and my lights will turn off.
Well,
I
the
have a
lights don't go
question.
out. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean in my booth, inside my booth.
Yeah, if y'all want to
Um,
see like a well-lit booth, go check out Cynthia's booth. I went over there, I was like it's a beacon of light. Like there is no second guessing what she has in her booth. She has that dialed in.
Mm.
Thank
Me
you.
between my blower and my lights, I alternate because I already know that around it gets dark about 8 o'clock. So that's when I'll turn on the lights. I'll have little colorful lights to stand out, and then my blower going crazy.
have
Yep.
our sections been released to us yet?
What was that?
Is that information? Have our sections been released yet? Is that information available to us?
Yeah, I sent an
Do we know
email
where?
Sunday or Monday.
Yes, we have our
Oh, okay.
sections.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Check your maybe check your spam. I just got an email, someone asking the same thing. So I'm wondering if some of them went to your spam folder.
Okay. I did see a couple of emails. I'll go ahead and check those.
Yeah, I
Your
didn't also see
email.
mine.
How imperative is lighting if it gets a little bit darker?
That is
Later.
why we do end the art walk at 8 o'clock. We might discuss next year going till 9 since lights are so cheap and great now from Amazon.
Yep.
You won't towards the end, it starts to get a little dark, especially for paintings.
Uh-huh.
You're fine if you don't have them for this first one because we end at 8 o'clock. So, but that's the one thing too about I was going to say to you, if this is your first type of event like this, it's good to start with the smaller, cheaper ones before you invest in the $200, $500, because you'll get your setup down. You'll realize, okay, I need these lights. I need business cards. I need, it's good to work all the kinks on the cheaper ones.
For sure. Also another question. How how strict is that no dogs allowed policy?
The no dogs allowed. So this is a really funny story. I'll make it really quick. The no dogs allowed is mostly because last holiday season, we had our event at the Seabird and it's indoors and one of the vendors brought their dog and it basically shit all down the hall. It was bad. It was hysterical, but it was bad.
Oh,
and
all right, that makes sense.
And it was the friend of the artist that was walking her dog for her.
yeah.
Bridget, who is been with the art walk forever. She was chasing the lady down the hall. Your dog is pooping. Your dog is pooping. Like literally, this poor dog had terrible diarrhea. So like,
Oh my God.
so yes, it's outside. You can bring your dog, but we just put that in
Okay.
after that happens.
Okay.
But yes, it's an
All
outdoor
right.
event.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Okay. So it's a little flexible this time around.
yeah, you can bring your dog to the outside.
Mine's is tiny. She goes,
I'm planning to go alone as well, but not all the way alone would be nice.
Yeah.
Don't
Brooke,
worry,
did
bro.
you
Don't worry, bro. We're supposed to link up.
there you
I
go.
like it.
Brooke, did you have any questions, comments about anything?
I did see Jared's piece at Covet. I also got into Covet for the next show, but my piece was like really small compared to everyone else's and down underneath the shadow of someone else's piece. So it wasn't a great first gallery experience. But I'm excited about this, and I'm just curious as to what people are going to do. I mean, one, my social battery is like a AAA battery. It's really, really small. And I'm kind of introverted, so I'm not going to be shucking and jiving. I was even going to paint while I was there, maybe just to give myself something else to focus on.
That would be
that'd be
cool.
good.
That would be real cool.
But I mean, my stuff is full of color. I mean, absolutely like blind. I mean, I don't know if it'll scare people away. I really have no idea how this is going to go. So I'm very curious.
Don't be scared, bro. You
Yeah.
different.
It's
That's
different. I
what it
mean,
is.
I've never seen anything like it. I've been to we went to San Diego. I mean, I've been to all these fairs and I've never seen anything like this. So we'll see what happens.
That to what you're saying, like, you're not sure how it's gonna go. One thing that I've been thinking about these fairs in terms of is it's one thing it's really good for is getting like instant feedback and critique from people that don't know you.
Exposure.
All right. Well, yeah, exposure for sure, but like so like in art school, you would do a painting or you do art and then you'd have a critique. And then the professor would critique and tell you what they think, like it, doesn't like it, success, whatever. And then your other students in your class would give you their feedback. Well, in normal daily life, you don't really have that same setup. So these art walks are really good for that. Like one thing that I've been really liking doing is just like people walk up and if they like linger for a second, look, I'm just like, what do you think of this? What do you think? Does anything stand out to you? Do you not like anything? Do just like throw a question at people and then they're gonna give they they don't know you. They're okay. Like they'll give you straight up feedback in general and be like,
I'm such an I do what I want though. Like I can't even imagine accepting a commission because I do what I want. And like
you don't have to.
Some artists don't.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Especially abstract artists. A lot of abstract artists don't take commissions, or if they do, the parameters are very loose. It's not like, especially
They just want to go crazy.
Yeah.
That's what y'all
I did
do.
one for a friend and it was a paid commission. It was for a birthday and she cried. So that was great. But I mean, for anyone else that I didn't know, I can't imagine doing it.
You made her cry, bro. I want to see that. Like you're supposed to make her happy, not cry.
Nah, she was happy.
Tears of joy.
Good
Hey, Jared, did you want to tell him of what happened to you at the end of the show last time?
What was that?
I had noticed that it was 8 o'clock, and I remember from being in that circle from our last time before the show, they said we can pack up slow. It's not like hurry up and be out of there by a certain time, because some places when you do events you have to be out of there. And so I saw that I was a witness to your sales there at the end. What did you have, like 4
different people
Yeah,
come up
people
and
buy
buy
at
your.
the end. Don't
And it
start
was so
at
cool. I
7:30.
was like, look at you, Jared. Way to go at the end here, racking in those sales of
That
your
is so
art.
sweet of you. Yeah, that I was pleasantly surprised. So with the concert, especially if you're around the water fountain area, once the concert started, I noticed people were just walking through. My lights still had batteries to them, and so I just kind of hung out and slowly put things away and had like three or four sales at the end of the night, and admittedly the last one was fairly slow for me at the beginning, and then yeah, at the end I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, it was great. Cynthia, thank you for reminding me. I almost totally forgot about that. Yeah, it's one of those things, if I'm not asked to be out by a certain time, and there's people
Yeah.
checking out my art, I'll hang out and just slowly put down some of like the
Yeah,
bigger
for real. We sleeping out there. Going
yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Able to get a pillow and a blanket. Stay right there.
Yeah, there's no street closures for our event. So yeah, if you want to hang out till if you have lights and you want to hang out till after the concert, or yeah. I mean, if you're there till midnight or 2 a.m., the police may come and kick you out.
Right.
We're not
That's
going
what
to kick
that's when
you
I
out.
leave in. I can leave when they come.
That's great to know. I thought it was a strict schedule, but that's good to know.
No, no. I mean, it starts getting dark, so but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like once we stick together, we'll be okay. They can't send all of us home. They can send one of us home.
Yeah, you guys will find if you are doing if this is something, especially for the ones that are maybe this is your first one or your first couple of showings and you're trying to feel it out. If it's something you love or you enjoy and you start doing more, you'll find the ones where they have to like take out permits to shut down a street and you're like set up in the middle of the street. Those are like, hey, 6 o'clock, get off the street. Like
Yeah.
we have to let cars back through.
Right.
But this, thankfully, we're not on the street. So, have fun. Like I usually like to get there. I'm about 45 minutes south, so I usually get there a little early because people are still walking around. And I'll set up my little rack of poster prints first so people can flip through because people are attracted to energy, I've found. Like when things are moving around, people are inquisitive. Uh,
Hmm.
versus me standing in my booth, smiling and be like, "Hey, come on, check it out." And they're like, "Oh, okay," whatever it might be.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's a good
good.
point. How early can you show up?
I mean, technically you probably could show up whenever you want. I won't have the spaces marked until 10:30 in the morning. So
Oh,
um
okay.
Okay,
I usually get there about 2:30-ish. We have a couple
okay,
of vendors that set up that are when I get there, they're almost done setting up. But I mean, you know, if you want to, yeah, if you
okay.
want to come and start setting up at 2 o'clock, I mean, and it depends on where you're at too.
Yeah.
Like as far as where you're at in the location, most of the
Mhm.
spots are not like blocking stuff. I found the three spots, and Jared even asked, "Am I going to be blocking somebody?" And I'm like, "No, no, you'll be fine." Well, it turns out yes. So we're only going to put two booths there this time, not three. So people,
Okay.
yeah. So instead of where Jared
That's
was,
good.
that'll be
Yeah.
empty. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll be good. Yeah.
Because that's as big as, I mean, last event was we've never had to use those spaces before. So I basically went
Oh.
off of what other events that I've been to in the Civic Center and looked at where they placed people, and we just kind of followed that map.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I don't know if maybe the library was closed and people weren't. But anyways, so yeah, but we have 80 plus again this.
Yeah. I'm by the parking lot, the free parking,
Yes.
Civic Center. That's where I'm at.
I
Yeah.
know why is they trying to see.
Yeah. So we have 80 vendors this time, which is great. It's the most.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, we're pretty much maxed out. Like I've had a couple people email me the past couple days and I'm like, we're we're at capacity at this point,
Woohoo!
which is great. Yeah. Because the
Awesome.
city is starting to notice. I don't know if anybody noticed, we had an article in the O-Sider, a 2-page spread in the O-Sider magazine. So that should be, I think, and that came out a couple of weeks ago. So hopefully that will get some more tourists coming.
Yeah.
So
Just
yeah.
just out of curiosity, how do you choose the participants? Let's say that there's larger amounts of inquiries than there are spaces.
Well, at this point, we've been basically inviting anybody that hand makes their own product. So we haven't had any sort of really criteria. You know what I mean? Like we've taken anybody that does their own handmade.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, like I said, last month and this month we've maxed out. So last month, what I did is I sent out invitations to submit to everybody that was in the month before. I sent that out right away before I sent it to, so I think I'll do that again. Like I'll send out invitations to everybody that has participated the last 2 months and give those people the opportunity to pick their space. And then at that point, if we're getting close to capacity, maybe I'll scroll through and look through some more. We don't really, it's not strict. I mean, we're pretty easygoing. We have vendors that have been participating the whole 12 years, but I feel like a lot of our vendors are first timers or new because the entry level is easy and it's 3 hours, so it's not a huge commitment. So
yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I visited last month actually. And it like really like interested me. I did a little research and I filled out the application and participating this month. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do not see where I'm at.
Did you get the email?
Yeah, I got the email.
So
I don't
scroll
know
down.
if I look past it
If you scroll down to the very bottom, there should be a list of everybody's names. Leroy Blatch, right? That's your last name?
Yes, that's me.
Okay. You're at number 26.
Okay. And where is that exactly?
26 is on it's near Mission. So you're Artist Alley side.
Okay.
So you're right at the end of the alley. There's a link to the map.
I see event map
in that
right
email.
there.
So if you click on that and scroll down, you'll see the map that says Artist Alley.
Okay, now I see
And
it.
you'll see all the numbers. Yeah.
Yep, there I go.
I'll check the email right now as well myself. But if you happen to have those numbers in front of you, would you mind telling me where I'm at?
You are in 75. You're in 75 because you have 75. a 10 by 10 10, right?
You gotta come walk and look for me, bro.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're in 70.
Is that like in the plaza area?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
And as far as like unloading and stuff goes, I mean, we say to unload between the alley and the library on I'm drawing a blank, Pierview Way, but like Leroy, you're closer to Mission, so if you can park on Mission and unload, then it's fine. Again, because we don't have street closures, you can unload whatever is safe and legal.
Okay.
And then there's free parking in the Civic Center Plaza, or there's street parking. I mean, it's 2-hour parking. So technically you would go over an hour because I think it ends at 6. I've never gotten a ticket, but don't quote me on it.
Rather be safer than sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, when there's free parking in the Civic Plaza. So
I noticed on the map that it looked like the drum circle is further down by the library.
It's not. It's where it says Civic Plaza.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always been in the same spot.
Oh, good. Because I was like, I just love being by that music.
See, and some artists don't like being by it. I'm glad that you like being by it.
Yeah, so I like the energy,
I do too. I think it's, it is a little loud, but they definitely draw attention and
Mhm.
people tend to hang out in that area.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, good. That's gonna be fun.
Well, anybody have any more questions for Jared? Miguel, I feel like you might have one more question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How in your earlier years when you're getting traction, how no numbers need to be disclosed, but how volatile was your when you were doing your spreadsheets, how volatile was your profit growth? Like good months, bad months, terrible months, fantastic months. Pretty
Volatile is an
consistent.
understatement. Volatile is an understatement. Because I was learning. It was, and I always try to. But I didn't know, what made the most sense for me to bring out as a body of work. I didn't speak to it all that well. And like I said earlier, this whole talk on being a professional artist, that was the topic. I am not telling you what to do whatsoever, just giving you what I found worked for me in my transition in doing so. But yeah, it was really volatile. One because I wasn't doing it as consistently as I'm doing it now. I now it's gotten much more fine-tuned because I literally just sit and take notes on my phone. I take notes of what I sold, and then I take notes of what I want to do for the next one.
Notes save lives. I'm
Yeah.
an adamant note taker myself.
Yeah, I literally when there's not people at my booth, I'm just kind of sitting back there like, okay, I need to make sure to have a tablecloth or whatever it might be. Because I'll find myself, at another event going, oh,
Do
I
you like blink and
wanted to do
forget?
this. What's that?
Do you like blink and then forget everything?
Yes.
Oh yeah, squirrel brain. 100% squirrel brain over here. It's like, what? Shiny object? What? Noise over here?
But you could crack those nuts though.
But
It's okay. It's okay. You could crack those big old nuts will come out the tree. But the minute you blink, it's gone.
No, don't go to an event and forget your main item that sells the best.
That's long term. Long term memory is stuck. Short term memory, like this.
I've had to call home and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot my cupcakes. You have to bring them. And yeah, I've done those.
I have a modest inventory. I have a very modest inventory because I don't have any prints. They're all originals. Yeah, so I would love to do prints, but I don't have the capacity yet.
Savali. Patience.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's one thing, on your journey of being an artist, there's where you want to be and what you want to get to, and then there's where you are. And just know that like you're gonna walk this path up this mountain and it's gonna be great when you get here, but here is just as great. It's like every step of the way is just as valuable. So like have have compassion for yourself and where you're at.
That's
You
so
don't have
good.
the prints done, that's fine. Just rock what you have and rock it as hard as you can. You know, just work with what you've got where you're at.
Keep the head up high.
Yep.
Because people always like I met so much clients on my way to California. It's like East Coast, like a lot of people, they know who I is and my tattoos and my art. So it's more so like, why do you sound like that? You're not from here. And then, like you say, like laugh and I let my work speak for itself. I just smile like, come on now. Come on. It's a plus that I'm not from here and I could do that. I was never taught that. Keep your head up high, Miguel. I'm gonna come look for you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna come look for you. You leave that puppy at home.
No, she's my co-pilot. She's my co-pilot.
We can
She's
leave her
right
by
down
the
here,
boat.
actually.
She is the pit bull
She's
for the
right down
boat.
here. She's sleeping right now, but she's gonna be there.
It's hard for us out here as men, one artist together. Mm-mm.
Somebody mentioned a good story earlier, and I do agree with that like strongly. And it kind of relates to like my past career path, which was hospitality. I worked at this Michelin star restaurant, and the owner and the whole crew, they were all very passionate, and I felt kind of guilty because I wasn't passionate about.
Oh no, you froze again.
Wow. Let's conversations be juicy for real and then it frees up.
Well, all right. On that note, I think I've got to get on out of here. And it looks like we're at 2 hours exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be sure to say hi to everybody at the art walk. Dip around and enjoy the ride, folks. Jared, thanks for leading the conversation.
Taylor, Don, thank you for putting this all together.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Yay, I'm here.
And thank you everyone for joining. Excited to
Thanks for
see you all
showing up,
Friday.
guys.
Happy
Okay.
Friday.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Can't wait to
Bye,
see y'all.
Everybody
everybody.
Friday.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Peace.